Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today. If you will, like, share, comment on the post, and then you can join me in the 18th chapter, beginning in the 27th verse. It says, when he, Apollos, was disposed to pass into Achaia, the brethren wrote, exhorting the disciples to receive him, who, when he was come, helped them much which had believed through grace. For he mightily convinced the Jews, and that publicly, showing by the Scriptures that Jesus was Christ. There is really a lot there that maybe doesn't originally meet the eye. One of them is Apollos' example, the model he is for believers still yet today. Once he had the gospel, once it had been explained to him, he'd been saying, talking about the Messiah, but now that he understood that Christ was come, had been crucified, resurrected, he was ready to go. It was like throwing gas on a fire for him. As he gets ready now, he's ready to go, and he wants to go to Corinth and preach the gospel. And not sure what all you know about the city of Corinth, but that was going from the pan to the fire. Corinth was an extremely immoral place. Had one of the greatest, one of the seven wonders of the world, the great temple to Diana, and all the immoral worship that surrounded that religious practice. But Apollos had a burning desire to take the gospel. He wanted to go, and I love what it says about it. It says he helped them much. He built them up. He encouraged them. What Paul had started, he fertilizes and he waters and helps it to grow, and just furthers their work. Then we also see that he has a desire not only to build up the church, those who had believed by grace, but also that he goes and preaches to the Jews, to those who don't know Christ. And so he has a desire here to not only disciple, but to evangelize, and for these who didn't know Christ, to show them about and tell them, teach them about Jesus Christ. And so Apollos is just a great model for believers today. We don't talk, for some reason, it doesn't seem to me like anyway, we talk about him a great deal. But when we begin to look at the little bit of material we have about him and his ministry, and we can just see his heart. We can see his desire to help other believers to grow in their faith, but then to make more believers. And I've talked about this in some other passages as we come through the book of Acts. It seems like many times in the church today, a lot of folks, a lot of times we get really focused on evangelism, or we get really focused on discipleship and helping believers grow, and at the expense of the other. The models we see in Scripture, whether it be a Paul or an Apollos, or others, Timothy, the other great people of the Bible, the New Testament, we see them focused on both. It's not an either-or situation. We can't just build a church and sit inside the four walls and sing "Give Me That Old Time Religion." We have to also be busy about bringing other people into the kingdom, and then the cycle just repeats itself over and over. We go out, we bring people into the kingdom, we disciple them up, we raise them up, we train them up, we teach them about Christ, help them to grow in their faith, and they go out and they multiply. We go back and we multiply, and again, the process just continues to repeat. And that is the model we see in Apollos, and that is the model we see again in all the great examples in the New Testament. And so I just want to leave you with that question today. Where are you at on those two things? Those are really the two main reasons we are left here in this world, to bring others to Christ and help others be more like Christ. And if we're failing in those two areas, we're failing. All right, have a great day. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.